We have a mission here on this very segment, my friends. Make sure that you are smarter by the time this segment ends about all things real estate. Make sure that you can make money, and who better than to educate us on this topic than Liz and Gina from RE/MAX Diamond Realty. Hello, ladies.
Hi, Jason.
Thank you also for talking about houses, and thank you for wearing those shoes, which I'm sure each of which is the cost of a house.
You know, you're giving away your secrets.
Yeah, well, you know, if you
you're
look
paying
good,
attention to shoes.
if you look good, you work good, and if you look good, you're also more inclined to make good decisions, and that's what we're talking about today.
Absolutely.
Because when property is deeded to you or decreed to you, it's not exactly you're handed a piece of paper and that's endgame and everything like that. There are a few more decisions you have to make, correct?
Yes.
That's what we want to caution people about. If you're in the stages of receiving your final decree, so you're going through probate, okay, this is a probate issue again. You're going through probate and you're at the tail end. You know your attorney has said, listen, we're expecting the final decree. And you've got, there's a few of you. In most cases, if you're going through probate, there's more than one person involved, more than one family member. What we are promoting and what we're trying to educate people about is take a look at the final decree, talk to your lawyer about how that property is going to be given back. We've had situations where the family actually went through the trouble of subdividing the property because they knew that they wanted each person to have their fair share. And they've gone through the other, trouble of picking out names. I had families that had actually pulled their lottery, but when the final decree was given, so they did the map, they re-subdivided the property, they pulled their number, but when the final decree was given, and they didn't even realize this, they thought it was all, up in order. It was in order. So it had all the lot numbers based on the new map that they had just paid for. It had everyone's name, and it said, okay, you guys get the property. So in their minds, they thought, okay, we individually got the property that we pulled. That's not the case.
Based on the lottery, yes.
Yeah.
And then let's say they assumed they got it the way they thought. And one
That is the key word, assume. And you know what they say about that.
Yeah, you really have to look at the documentation, because if the court deeded it back and decreed it to the family, and let's say the decree showed every single individual's name on that one deed, if they did not specify lot number 1 goes to Jason, lot number 2 goes to Liz, lot number 3 goes to Gina. But if they lumped all the properties in one, and that was how the decree went out, therefore the lottery went out the window. So even though they agreed to this lot goes to so-and-so, and if it's not stated on the decree, that's not how the deed will follow. The deed reflected that each of us will have to sign. If we wanted to sell the property, you can't just sell what you thought you were getting. We all have to agree to sign the document to say we're selling lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And this isn't a standard language within the decree document already? That's
No,
surprising to me.
There's no such thing as standard, honestly. That's the thing. Either your attorney should have pointed it out to you, and sometimes they don't realize that you want the ownership to be, in their mind, your family is getting the property, correct? So unless you, the individual, or the family says, no, we want to make sure that when we get the final decree, that Jason owns this lot that he pulled, Liz owns the lot she pulled, and Gina gets the lot that I pulled. We want that in the final decree. In absence of that, what Liz just explained, we own it together. That's really how you got it. You own it together. So you all own lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. And if anything happens to you, Jason, God forbid, if something happens to you, you're unconscious.
Knock on glass.
Okay, that's not going to work.
Knock on glass.
But let's say you're unconscious, and I decided, for whatever reason, you took sabbatical, you checked out for a little bit, and I want to sell my piece of property. And then they tell me, but Gina, you need Liz's signature, and you need Jason's signature.
Even though one party wants to sell, they're stuck. They cannot move forward without all parties agreeing. And it has happened where people want to sell, but one family member does not want to sign, even though the transaction has, let's say in the beginning, they may decide, yes, we're selling, and it's happened. Now, let's say you're ready to close escrow. one party decides they don't want to sign, it stops. No matter how they decided in the beginning, it does affect the final transaction. So, or if one family member has passed during that process, then that individual ownership has to go through the probate process, and it delays the sale as well.
So am I correct in understanding this? So we live in an imperfect world. There are very few things in life that I, as a property owner who may be decreed property, can control. Things may happen, people may move away, people may get angry, people may die, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The best thing for me to do is just to review the document as well as I can and as comprehensively as I can, but then ask my attorney, because they're going to know the exact verbiage and what I am and am not.
But be clear.
Yeah,
if
be
you're
clear.
working with the attorney, be clear that you want 5 acres divided by so many lots, especially after they've subdivided, that the specific lot number goes to a particular individual.
You know, I think that's the problem. If you're not aware, if you don't know what to look for, how do you look? That's the problem. You're just, you know, and we run into this quite often actually, where family members went through the trouble and the expense of getting the map done so each person could have their parcel, but that's not how it was given back by the court. So if you don't fix it at that tail end, then once it's decreed back to you, let's say you already have it, and you check your documents and you see that all the lot numbers are listed and all the names are listed. That means you all own it together. Wasn't given back individually. So now what you all should do is sit down and say, okay, we already pulled the lottery. Now we have to deed the property to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's an additional expense that you could have
Exactly.
eliminated.
Okay, we are out of time, but this is an amazing topic. Obviously, you want to talk to your lawyer and make sure you understand
Yes.
and get all the data you need to. That bottom line.
You know, the
Yes.
lawyers are involved, but if you don't give them clear direction,
Yeah.
they won't know either.
Absolutely. They're not evil people. They just want to help you out.
Yeah.
They want to help.
Okay, well,
Exactly.
thanks so much. Thank you for
Thank you.
helping
Thank
us
you.
out. And thank you for watching. That is our show. We appreciate you watching, and we will see you the next time.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.